sharing with you, and congratulate all, and thank you very much, the chairperson of the board, for honoring me to come and share the few words with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much indeed, Daktari. Asante sana. Many thanks. 3 minutes past 11. I'd kindly request for the following speakers, I'd kindly request that you keep it to your time. Once you hear this sound, that means you only have 1 minute to wrap it up. We really appreciate you in a big way. Up next, ladies and gentlemen.
He is a senior lecturer at Kenyatta University and a distinguished scholar in political science and governance. With deep expertise in public policy and democratic development, he empowers minds through research, mentorship, and bold contributions to national dialogue and reform. Please welcome Dr. Tadayo Kibaba Makoha.
Big round of applause. 7 minutes, please.
As you heard, my name is Kibaba Makoha. Incidentally, we come from the same department with Dr. Magero. I'm married, but I'm a philosopher. So I'm a philosopher not because I didn't get a good wife, but because I chose to be. So riding on already established protocol, I will want to share a few things with you. First and foremost, I want to say how how delighted I am to be here again. I'm saying again because I was here last year for a ceremony like this, very successful. And I can see today it even looks better. You are looking good. And so I'm happy to be here once again. I want to say congratulations to the graduates. This is not a mean achievement. It's a big achievement. I've heard other speakers say nice things, but emphasize that this is part of a journey. If it was a play, I would say this is maybe Act 1 or Act 2, and therefore it is just part of the bigger plan that you have in your life, and I want to wish you well in that journey. 2, I want to congratulate the parents also and the guardians and friends, because this success is a shared success. The others who have contributed to all this journey, and therefore I want to appreciate that contribution by the parents, the guardians, and others. I also want to commend the chairman of the board, Mr. Ochieng, the vision carrier of this institution. He has done a good job. He has big plans, a big vision, and we are happy that we are, part of that big vision, and I can see it is going places. But they say, behind every able man, the Chinese say, behind every able man, there are always other able men. I thought maybe you thought I was going to say behind every able man there is an able woman, but the Chinese say behind every able man there are always other able men. I believe they mean both men and women. They use the word name in the generic sense. So behind Mr. Ochieng, there are great men and women who are contributing to this vision, the great work they are doing in this institution. Now, let me go to the gist of what I was asked to talk about. I was given a topic, the moral weight of the uniform, health workers as a pillar of society. I didn't know what my colleague was going to talk about, but in the course of his speech, he has said a number of things which I would also have mentioned, but in the interest of time, I don't want to avoid some of the things that he has talked about. The engineer there said, the Dons are like talking, and it's true. We are paid to talk. And so these 7 minutes, I've already taken 2. I don't know what I'll say and not say, but let me try to be very precise. First of all, as I was reflecting on this topic, I begin from the word uniform. What is a uniform? We know what a uniform is. We have seen police officers, we have seen nurses, we have seen, many people in uniform. But the Webster Dictionary defines uniform as a distinctive set of clothing worn by members of a particular group, serving as a means of identification. So you cannot just pick a dress and put on and say it's a uniform. It plays an important role, and there has many characteristics which I don't want to speak through. But the philosophy behind a uniform is basically that clothing can convey and communicate certain things. They can be values, aspirations, expectations, and even influence thinking and attitudes and behavior of the wearer of the uniform, as well as society. And this is, I believe, why the topic that I have is structured the way it was. So, uniform can be a source of, can convey identity, it can express community as a sense of community, shared values, conformity to social controls, it can communicate power and authority, status, and many other things. So, uniform gives you membership to a certain group, to a certain community, and gives you certain privileges, and also rewards come with it. But on the flip side of it, uniform also comes with corresponding duties and obligations. So the uniform therefore serves as a significant instrument that links the wearer of that uniform to the profession and to society at large. You can picture this, and this is why uniform is so important. Picture this, a police officer in full police uniform with his gun hanging on his shoulder. Then you see him in a mall walking in a zigzag way because he has swallowed some things, and so he makes 2 steps forward and 2 backwards. You can imagine that kind of scenario and the communication that comes through that kind of situation. I have seen this in real life. I was in a mall and I saw a police officer in uniform, acting like that. And so it raises issues and very big questions about, the place of uniform in a profession. So I picked the case of nurses' uniform just to illustrate this. Many of you know the person who is associated with the nursing profession. I don't want to go into the names, but nursing as a human activity, as a practice, is as old as mankind. It has always been there. But there is a writer on history of nursing called Irene Poplin, who has written some essay titled Nursing Uniforms, Romantic Idea, Functional Attire, or Instrument of Social Change. And the conclusion that she comes to is that uniform is an instrument of social change. It's not just an attire. It's not just about the functionality of it, but it is an important instrument, and indeed, the uniform has played an important role in the evolution of the modern nursing profession. In terms of outward appearance, it confers the status, it is, it confers the status to you as the wearer of that uniform and differentiates you from other people who can do caretaking, because there are many other people who can do caretaking. And so it symbolizes respectability, caring attitude, professional competence, but above all, unquestionable moral character. And therefore, it is this whole thing that I'm trying to describe that then puts a serious moral weight or fundamental moral weight on the healthcare worker. Now, I want to, as I can see the MC is looking at me, I just want to maybe mention 2 or 3 things about where does this moral obligation to the health worker derive? Where does it rest? What are the foundations? And there are many things, but one, and for me the most fundamental of all, is the fact that human beings have a human dignity. Human dignity is really the essence of what it means to be a human being. We say that human beings have a value that they possess simply by virtue of being human beings, not because of any merit, not because they have done anything, but simply by virtue of being human beings, they possess intrinsic value. They have value that they possess intrinsically, and therefore the health workers foremost, in my view, the health workers' foremost duty or moral duty is to promote and protect human life and its intrinsic value, human dignity. That to me is the core. All these other things are meant to support that. All these other things are supposed to ensure that we have our dignity as human beings. And so there are many other foundations of our moral obligations as health workers, among other things. For example, the Hippocratic Oath, which physicians take, and others who don't take the Hippocratic Oath, they take other things like the nursing pledge and others. So that is one. We have professional codes of ethics and conduct, which I don't want to go into, that play a very important role in articulating our duties and obligations as health care workers. And then we have ethical principles and ethical theories. Among others, you have the principle of beneficence, which says we have to have a duty to care for others, we have a duty to be good to others and to promote the well-being of others. We have the duty of non-maleficence, which says we should never do harm. And this is, for me, a very fundamental principle, because sometimes you may not help a patient, but at least because you may not have the ability to do that. And this is why people die sometimes, because there is nothing much we can do. But at least it's within our duty not to cause harm to others, not to cause harm to a patient, because you don't need resources not to cause harm to a patient. And this is why we are looking at the case of Susan Njoki and the Chiromo case that you are all familiar with, and which raises fundamental questions about the role of the physicians, the role of healthcare workers in all this. And then we have other principles like confidentiality, which is also very core, confidentiality. It says, it's part of the Hippocratic Oath, and it says, whatever I see or hear in the lives of men, I will not broadcast. Broadcast is Old English, which means to spread. And in the course of your profession, you will see many things, you will hear many things. You have a duty not to say those things, because when you do that, it's like you are stripping somebody. I once asked my students, if you are stripped naked and put there for people to see you, what will you do? I don't think that we can say exactly what we'll do, because the only resource we have is the hands, and you really don't know where to put them. Because shame does not stay in the same place as where the shame originates from, isn't it? So it will be very problematic. So we have those are the principles and theories. I don't want to go into them because we don't have time. But finally, as I conclude, why are healthcare workers therefore pillars of society? I have already talked about the fact that they are guardians of human dignity. I don't want to repeat that. They are also workers who are in the front line in terms of human well-being, and COVID-19 comes to mind. When all of us went hiding in our houses, the healthcare workers were there in the forefront, and some of them succumbed to coronavirus because the healthcare, like soldiers, stand in the front line. sometimes between calamity and the well-being of society. It's an enormous responsibility that you have, but which you carry with honor and fortitude. You are the guardians of life. Healthcare workers will be there when you come into this world. Most likely they will be there. They will be the ones to receive you into this world. And most likely they will be there when you also exit this world. And in between, they are there to take care of our well-being, and so they ensure the continuity of a health society. They are so critical to society that then we can say it is not idle to say they are pillars of society. I conclude with the two things. One, I want to emphasize that the health worker in general, or health work in general, is a noble and honorable activity. And that is why it is a pillar of any society. But they say to whom much is given, much is also expected. And therefore, noble work of healthcare must also be done by noble men and women. And this is what perhaps dictates the enormous moral weight placed on you health workers. And finally, I also want to quote the words of the Hippocratic Oath in its original form, as translated by one Ludwig Edelstein, and it says, "If I keep this oath, may I enjoy life and this art, being honored with fame among all men for all time to come. If I transgress and falsely swear the opposite, all this may be my lot." Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Really appreciate. It's 19 minutes past 11. I'd kindly request our speakers to be gracious enough to donate their time to the next speakers online. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, 7 minutes.
At Kenyatta University and a leading voice in African Christianity and contextual theology. With a deep passion for faith, culture and ethical leadership, he inspires transformative thinking through his teaching, research and commitment to shaping the next generation of theological scholars. Please welcome Dr. Godfrey Kinyua.
Makofi tafadhali. Feel free to donate your time if you don't mind. Go ahead. 7 minutes.
I'll try my level best to do that. If I don't succeed, at least you'll know I tried. The chief guest, the chair of the board, the director, Macmillan Medical Training College, the chief principal, and other members of management present, invited guests, members of staff of Macmillan Medical Training College, parents and guardians, the graduating class of 2025, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this momentous occasion, a celebration of achievement, resilience, and the promise of transformation. I bring warm congratulations to each one of you who are seated here ready to be awarded. You have journeyed through intense learning, sacrifice, and discovery, and today you stand at the threshold of the future. You are now entering a profession that does not just offer employment, but demands a calling, courage, and compassion. The theme of today's graduation, innovative medicine, is not just timely, but an urgent imperative of today's fast-paced life. But why is this so? The health sector is changing. The question is, are we ready for the change? We live at a time of dynamic shifts. The global health landscape is being disrupted on a day-to-day basis by such things as pandemic, the global health threats, digital technologies, among others. In Kenya, the universal health coverage agenda has laid out an ambitious path which requires a strong, well-distributed, community-based health workforce. But there is a challenge here. We have an overburdened clinical system. There are gaps in rural-based healthcare, and gaps also exist in home-based care. There is a growing burden of chronic illnesses, disability, and an aging population. Who will fill these gaps? I acknowledge that it is you who will fill this gap. The graduating class of 2025 and others who are coming after you. The training that you have received here at Macmillan Medical Training College is now more relevant than ever. You are not just the bridge, but pillars of a preventive, people-centered system, because your role seamlessly aligns with the emerging strategic health priorities. Just to mention a few: home-based care and palliative care, geriatric care, rehabilitation and chronic diseases management. As graduates, you are entering a sector that needs you to think differently. The patient you will serve today will not just ask for treatment. They will expect personalized, efficient, and tech-savvy care. Innovation in medicine starts where you work, at the point of care. Indeed, you are the frontline innovators. You are the bridge between patients and systems. When you offer safe, timely, and dignified care, that is innovation in itself. It prevents complications, saves on cost, and restores trust in the healthcare system. What does that mean for you? It means that innovation is not just about technology, it is about mindset. When we talk about innovative medicine, it is much easier for any one of us to imagine novel approaches to management of diseases, or even robotic healthcare system. But that may not necessarily be the case. As a caregiver or nursing aide, ask yourself, can I offer care that respects culture and dignity? Can I adapt quickly to a changing patient conditions? Can I leverage mobile health apps to track patient routines or meds? Can I organize family around better hygiene or nutrition? That in itself is innovation. Practical, person-focused, and life-saving. That must be you. What are the strategic pathways that lie ahead of you? Where do you go from here? The graduation that you're going through is not an aid in itself, it's a gateway. Under the Kenya National Qualification Framework, your journey in medical education is part of a structured pathway. Come back and advance your skills and knowledge at Macmillan Medical Training College from certificate to diploma and beyond. Kenya National Qualification Authority envisions a seamless and progressive system that empowers you to rise regardless of where you started. Your current qualification is a step, not a ceiling. To the college leadership, it is important that you embrace recognition of prior learning, promote credit accumulation and transfer, and build bridges, not barriers, so that these people who are seated here can be able to come back and progress or further their education. A word to the parents: your investment today on these people who are graduating is not in vain. You have given to society a group that is going to cause positive impact. And for that, we are proud of what you have done. As I conclude, today is not just a personal victory. It is a national investment coming to life. You are the heartbeat of a better future for the healthcare system. Go forth and be the reason for someone to believe in the healthcare system again. May you go out there and not just join the workforce, but change the game. Congratulations, class of 2025. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki.
Wow. Makofi yake tafadhali, and well done. Dr. Kinyua, right on time. Asante sana for being generous with your time. For graduates who are missing seats and you're at the back, we have seats preserved just for you, reserved just for you. So please don't be at the back, come to the front. For the next 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, up next.
He is a senior lecturer at Macmillan University and a renowned sociologist specializing in aging, social equity and community. Through impactful research, mentorship and academic leadership, he champions digital adults and inspires. They salute just Samuel Mwangi.
Dr. Samuel Mwangi, a big round of applause for him. Karibu sana. 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, MC. I'm going to be very obedient to that. And I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the management of the college to invite me for this. I'm going to ride on the existing protocols, but even before I do that, I want to echo the words of those who have spoken before me, more particularly the Chief Principal, Madam Sarah. She talked about that this is not the end, it's a new beginning. So you are starting a new journey with the qualification that you're going to be awarded by the college. So I've been invited to give a short talk about care, character, and community, upholding ethics in a world that that forgets. So for this occasion, I say that I'm very much excited because to be invited to celebrate with you. As you have heard in the introduction, that I'm a sociogerontologist. So many might wonder, what do you mean by gerontologist? It's a study that deals with aging. We are social science researchers, and we study a lot of things about aging. Among them, caregiving. We look at the models of care. And the college is released new to the world to talk about, to give that care that we research on. So it's my great honor to come and celebrate with you during this monumental occasion for your graduation. You have worked extremely hard to achieve this great milestone in your life. It's a big achievement that you enrolled, you continued to study, and eventually you're graduating today in this very colorful event. As the student representative said, that there are some of you who joined with you at the beginning, and they are not here to graduate with you. So you need to congratulate yourself as well for that achievement. So you're getting into a career that is that touches on the lives of others, and that has always been said by those who have spoken before me. And what I need to tell you is that there's no any other career that touches the lives of other people than caring. Caring is very rewarding to self, and it's also very rewarding to the care recipients. From my research, I have, and I can attest that, I can quote some of my work, is that the caregivers who are loved and shown the best care practices live longer than the caregivers that have people who don't care about them. So you cannot be a caregiver and you don't care. So that's why I'm here to talk about 3 C's. And the first C that I'm talking about is care. What is care? I may not come here to give this as a lecture, but it's a reference point that talks about the relationships that you establish with those who will be receiving care, and also about the well-being of others. So for those who will be caring, providing cares to, they have other people around them. They have their families, they have their co-workers. So you have to create synergies when you're providing that care.
She is a passionate educator and co-director of Capital Africa Learning Center, whose powerful mentorship and counseling have touched thousands of lives across Kenya. With over 20 years of inspiring leadership, she lights the path for students, parents and educators alike, igniting purpose, resilience and hope for a brighter future. Please welcome Anne Gadhuma. He is a dynamic youth leader, author and executive director of Skills Forge Network, championing youth empowerment and climate action across Africa. With a bold voice in governance and public policy, he inspires a generation to rise beyond limitations and shape a sustainable, inclusive future for all. Please welcome Honorable Odanga Nation Pesa. He is the founding director of Macmillan Medical Training.
change this nation. We have hope. Our family have put a lot of trust and investment in us, and we cannot fail them. We cannot explain. We cannot go back. So even as you graduate today, I want you to graduate full of hope that you are the solution this country has been looking for. You are the best doctor this country has been anticipating to get. You are the best medical practitioner, full of humanity, full of empathy that the whole world has been looking for. So I want you to desire to be the best. And even as you live here, the journey is not going to be the same for each one of us, because each one of us has a different success story. Do not run your life in comparison with others. When I graduated, there are people who got jobs ahead of me. It was a bit challenging. It almost looked like my degree, I had got it from Uganda. Maybe in a university where some politicians, they go and get some certificates. But I trusted the process. I trusted the time. And God, who is faithful to us, He made it possible for me. And that's why I've authored the book known as Rise Above Limitations. That it doesn't matter where you start from. It doesn't matter the challenges you are facing. If you desire to be the best student like you've done and you are now graduating, you'll be the doctor we have been looking for in this nation. I therefore want to challenge you that a lot of investment has been done through your lives by the school, by the parents. We are here to witness you to graduate. What kind of a medical practitioner are you going to become? I want you to take your time to be able to think through, who will I become in the next 10 years? Who will I become in the next 5 years? What kind of innovation are you going to bring to this great nation and the world? We are waiting on you, and I want to believe our teachers have done the best to be able to equip us with the skills that is necessary to take us forward. And as you step forward, you are not just graduates, you are torch bearers. You carry the light of healing, the fire of innovation, and the warmth of humanity. The world will look to you not just for answers, but for hope. And I have no doubt that you will rise to the calling. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Let that truth guide you. Let your presence as a healthcare profession be a source of comfort and courage for every life you touch. Class of 2025, today is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning. The world is waiting for your ideas, your innovation, your compassion. Go out there and heal boldly, think differently, and lead fearlessly. And above all, never let the fire of hope fade from your hands. And as I wrap it up, I want to challenge you that it is possible. You can do it. There is nothing that is impossible when we have a God who has helped us to get this far we are. So I want you to challenge as you live here, go out there, make an impact, become the best doctors of this world, make Macmillan a proud college that it will keep spreading because of the work you keep doing in your various institutions. To the parents, I want to salute you again. You are very instrumental. You've carried these great minds to this great occasion because you've walked with them a journey. It is a process. This is not the end. This is the start. I want you to yearn to become more better so that you can become a great person. To the fraternity of the Macmillan, I salute you all. Thank you to the director and your team. You are doing a great thing. Health is an aspect that touches the life of every person. For you to have worked so hard to be able to get us these great quality candidates who are now the future of this nation, who are looking very smiling, and they are ready for the next chapter ahead, I want to salute you this afternoon. I want to thank you all. I want to wish you well. Please, as you go out there, make this world a better place. For those of you who have time, I'll be around, like she has said. Don't be afraid to interact. It begins here. Get a copy of my book so that you can read how you can rise from above limitations. Meet somebody. Don't live here the way she said that we'll meet people who are that parents will meet future in-laws. Before we meet the future in-laws, meet the future employers so that you can balance your life. Ama namna gani? Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. Thank you so much. Let's just be upstanding for a moment. This is where you say, if only we had 1,000 of such people, Kenya would be so far. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Up next, ladies and gentlemen,
He is the founding director of Macmillan Medical Training College and director of GHIC Limited, whose visionary leadership is transforming healthcare training and global career pathways. With a passion for youth empowerment and excellence, he continues to champion education that equips a skilled, ethical and globally competitive workforce for the world. Please welcome Josephat Moses Ochieng.
Makofi tafadhali as you take your seats. If we only had 1,000 Josephats in Kenya. Wow.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. To the chief guest, Dr. Omondi Oi, honorable guest speakers present in this assembly, to my dear wife, my petite, I think they desire to see you. You may be upstanding and perhaps say hello to them.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon once again. My name is Akinyi Ochieng. He's my husband. God has blessed us with 2 girls and a boy. Yeah. Congratulations.
I'm going to take 7 minutes, but I would ask for 2 minutes more. In this assembly, we have distinguished guests and guests of honor. These are men and women who have directly shaped my life. And I want you to allow me to welcome one of our partners from Enrigas to say a word in 1 minute. Please welcome.
Good afternoon. All protocols observed. My name is Fred Kagia, representing in Lagos. We are a German language examination body that covers Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. On behalf of in Lagos, allow me to congratulate all of you for your graduation. And as you embark on your journey in the medical space, I'll urge all of you to add a skill. And the skill I'll urge all of you to add is the language. Yes, you have one tool. Language comes in hand as a second tool of success. Through language, you are able to communicate and unlock more opportunities. So we together with Macmillan Institute, we have partnered to be able to ensure that you achieve this through offering the language, the school offering the language, and in Lagos becoming the international examination body. So as I conclude, I'd like to urge all of you to have a leap of faith. Just like one scholar stated, faith is believing in the impossible, seeing the invincible, and trusting in the known. Ladies and gentlemen, as you venture into the enchanted waters of opportunities, I'd like you to have a little faith. Thank you.
To our students, I want you to say with me, I am Macmillan. Can we say it with some power? I am Macmillan. Sons and daughters of Macmillan, soldiers of compassion, warriors of healing. Today we assemble not just as a college, but as a movement. When we began this journey in the year 2021, a few believed, even fewer understood us. We started not with resources, not with luxury, but with a single blazing conviction that healthcare in Kenya and across the globe deserves warriors trained in excellence, forged in integrity, and driven by a sacred duty to serve. Today we stand because the struggle isn't over, but because we have learned to win. The battlefield were many when we started. Doubts, scarcity, and skepticism defined our path. But like disciplined soldiers, we pressed forward. We rented classrooms when all we had were chalks and hope to train. We enrolled students and taught with passion before we had titles. We had no principal. We had no deputy principal. We didn't even have a board chairperson. And now, look at where we are. We are celebrating today our first and the very best Madam Principal, Sarah Oganda, the Chief Principal. In this assembly present, we also have representatives of the board that we are constituting that is going to mark the very first board that we're going to have as the great Macmillan Medical Training College. The Macmillan Hospital, our very own, here represented by the hospital administrator, founded last year, operational from January 2025, stands as a living monument to our defiance against limitation. A hospital born not from wealth, but from vision. Our mission is clear: to train competent, ethical, and globally competent healthcare professionals who are ready to serve humanity in every corner of the earth. Our philosophy is unshakable. We believe in healthcare as a calling. We believe in dignity, duty, and discipline. We believe in a higher purpose and to heal a body, and that to heal a body is to touch eternity. We are not resting as an institution. We are committed to expansion. So soon we shall be registering, as you know, those who are graduating here are majorly graduating at certificate level. But soon we shall be registering with the Nursing Council of Kenya to offer diploma in community health nursing. We are working towards accreditation by the Kenya Medical Laboratory Technicians and Technologists Board, that is KMLTTB, to offer diploma in medical laboratory science. We are in the process of registering with the Council of Clinical Officers to offer diploma in clinical medicine. These courses that I'm mentioning, we are going to have our first intakes next year, January. So when we talk about career progression, this is your place. Mark these words: soon Macmillan will be found in every department of every hospital in this nation and beyond. Say amen to that. Amen. And say, I am Macmillan. I am Macmillan. And let no one doubt our success and our commitments. Our students are already making a mark across the globe. From Kenya, Honorable Chief Guest, we have our students working in their numbers in the United Kingdom as we speak. From Germany to Saudi Arabia, there our students are present, working and earning. Our students are found in Australia as we speak. And we have our students who are in the process of moving to Canada for work. Our alumni are healing nations, transforming hospitals, and standing tall as global ambassadors of the Macmillan spirit. In this assembly, as we speak today, we have our students who are employed in our Kenyan hospitals, and working in homes of the elderly in this very nation. And we have our students present and working in the Macmillan Hospital as we speak. That is the spirit of Macmillan. Sons and daughters of Macmillan, are you ready to join our successful alumni in the aforementioned countries that I've spoken about? Are you ready? If you are ready, shout with me, we are Macmillan. We are Macmillan. To you who dream of going abroad, we are ready to support you, whether it's the Republic of Ireland, Germany, Canada, Australia, Saudi Arabia, or beyond. We stand ready to walk with you every step of the way. And hear this loud and clear. Canada is the greatest promise now, and the doors are opening, and Macmillan shall be at the front line of the new frontier as we support you towards those destinations. And to end service provision is the spirit of Macmillan, and we are proud to be the Macmillan. Our students do not just study. They are consecrated. Our graduates do not just work. They are commissioned. That is the spirit of Macmillan Medical Training College. Let the world know a Macmillan graduate is not just another CNA, not just another caregiver. They are guardians of life. Trained in sacrifice, baptized in knowledge, and armored with passion, with compassion. When they enter a ward, the air shifts. They carry the Macmillan spirit. Honorable Chief Guest, one day when I was working in the hospitals where our students are taking their attachment, one of the directors of the hospital at St. Joseph's Hospital asked me, where do you get this your students from? And he said, they are so different, they act so differently. That is the Macmillan spirit. At Macmillan, we are not raising employees. We are raising reformers. We are raising ambassadors. We are raising healers, and we are raising leaders who are going to make a difference in every sector and in every hospital they will be found in. We are not just raising employees. Global doors are opening, and we are sending out legions of light bearers to meet that call. Our students carry not just certificates, they carry fire, and that fire will light the darkest corner of the global healthcare. Say amen. We salute our tutors, the drill sergeants of knowledge. We honor our parents, the silent financiers of dreams, and we thank our communities, the wind beneath our mission. You are the invisible hands that lifted this army from dust to destiny. We are not done yet as Macmillan. We are only beginning. The world has seen and has interacted with Macmillan Medical Training College, but the world shall soon meet Macmillan University, which shall be operational by the year of the Lord 2030. This is going to be a research powerhouse, an altar of healing, and a sanctuary of knowledge. And now I say to every student, every graduate, every stakeholder, lift up your eyes, straighten your back, and say with me, with pride and with fire, with faith and with conviction, that we are Macmillan. I want to hear the fire. We are Macmillan. When you walk into Canada, when you walk into the Kenyan hospitals, and when you walk into a healthcare setting, say it loud within your heart with pride that I am Macmillan. When you walk into a ward, say it with pride, I am Macmillan. When you wear that badge, when you wear that uniform, say it to the world that I am Macmillan. When the people, let the people know that we are the family of Macmillan and the cornerstone of healthcare education. You are not ordinary, my sons and daughters. You are not temporary, because the work that you're going to do is going to live beyond the day you shall depart from this God's earth. You are trained, you are true, and you are tested. That is why you are wearing that gown. Arise, advance, for the battle is the Lord's, and the future is ours. We release you to go into the world, to serve and make an impact. To our guests, I sincerely value you. Your contributions in my life as a person has shaped the vision for which we are here today. With this trust and faith, I beseech you to walk with me as we lead this great institution to its logical promise. My belief, as I conclude, all of us were created for a reason, and that reason we must fulfill. We are part and parcel of each other, and somewhere I read, and I quote, that you are because I am, and I am because you are. Our commitment remains one: to raise an institution, a learning institution, a powerhouse of knowledge that will channel effective people or effective workforce that is ready for the global market. We are not starting now. We've done this before, and we commit to do it again and again. Beyond this day, as from tomorrow, from next week, I want us to come back to each other, and I want us to help each other to realize our dreams. I thank you, I wish you well, and I know God shall light your path. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Makofi nyingine tafadhali. 2030, here we come, 2030, the Macmillan University. Many thanks for that vision. And I hope all of us will walk out of here with that vision to touch hundreds, thousands, and even millions before our time is through. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's 18 minutes past 12. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen.
He is a visionary leader driving health systems, social protection and development governance across Africa. With over 15 years of experience in global partnerships, he champions equity, resilience and sustainable solutions that transform communities and empower the next generation of change makers. Please welcome the Global Director at CHASP Advisory, Dr. Omondi Otieno Oi.
Makofi yake tafadhali.
I am Macmillan. Come on, folks, say it like you believe it. I am Macmillan. Very good. I don't know where this idea came from, that the guest speaker has to come last. Because sometimes you end up not having anything to say. The folks have probably said everything there is to say. but I will possibly begin by saying, Josephat, I am very proud of you. Extremely, extremely proud of this not so young man. I literally saw him grow up. The CHASP advisory that has been mentioned, which I lead now, medium-sized research organization with a presence in Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, and Uganda, but of course with work in the entirety of sub-Saharan Africa. When I started CHASP in 2017, Josephat, I would say, was employee number 002, right? I was employee number 001, right? So that is the much hope I believe in him, I had in him. And look at him now, right? I mean, many years later, he has grown exponentially. His suits are even better than mine, right? So yeah, so thank you so much, guys. Now, I'd like to begin by just asking us a question. So, assuming you're driving, and I wish you all are going to have cars if you don't already have one. Assuming you're driving down a highway. Unfortunately, bad things happen, and you lose your brakes. Your car loses brakes. Right ahead of you, there are 5 people, probably construction workers, oblivious of you having lost brakes. And so if you go right ahead, you definitely are going to run them over, okay? On the sidewalk, however, there is one person, looks like, probably a drunkard lazing around or staggering. What would you do? Would you turn the car to run into the one person, or would you drive straight and run into 5 people? Let's see who would turn the car and run into one person. Right? I'm assuming you've done everything there is to do. So you have no choice. At this point, it is very clear that you're going to crash either way. So would you rather crash on 5 people, or would you rather crash on one person? Right? So how many would crash on one person? By show of hands. I mean, be very confident. How many would crash on 5 people? Okay, fine. It's obvious that there's a majority that would choose to crash on one person. That seems like an easier decision at the time. Now, let's bring this closer home. So you're within an hospital setup, okay? So you have 5 patients in need of critical organs, liver, heart, kidney, whatever other organs need to be, transplanted. They look like very productive members of the society, right? Saving their lives would be saving lives of a lot more people, and definitely at the moment looks like saving the cause of humanity. But on the other hand, you have, again, I have nothing against drunkards, right? But then you have this one person who comes in the ER, possibly overly intoxicated. And you have a choice between harvesting these organs and feeding the 5 people, in which case then you're saving 5 lives and letting one go. Who would choose to harvest the organs? What happened to the principle of saving 5 and killing 1? Right? Now, the answer to that question largely is found in something that some of the dons here had mentioned, right? The moral foundations, right? Moral reasoning. And their concepts, their principles in moral reasoning. So sometimes it can be consequential, in which case then you're making decisions purely based off of what you think would be the consequences of your action. But then at certain points, you're making those decisions because it's categorical. So it's categorical moral reasoning, right? In which case then it's categorical to the extent that it is something you just don't believe is right. Okay, so again, as students, that is something that you definitely might want to look into a bit more. Now, I heard, Madam Principal, I thought you were my friend. I just realized you probably not very much. Everyone seems to have been given a proper topic to speak to, and then she decided nijipange, right? That I'm on my own. So let me just, I'll definitely try to speak in a very general sense. To the principal, to the members of the faculty, to the director, other staff, support staff who have hardly been mentioned here. I'm sure within the college there are those that are, just make our work very easy. Please feel as much appreciated, whether as a janitor or any other role that you play, tending to the grounds or just serving coffee. Feel as much appreciated because you're part of this as much as we are. To the families, the parents, and finally to the reason that we are all here. Which is this brilliant graduating class of Macmillan Medical Training College. Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor and a privilege to join you on such a joyful occasion. Let me begin by saying congratulations. And this moment truly is yours. And as someone said earlier, I think it was Margaret, could you please take this minute to make some noise for yourselves? Make some random noise for yourselves. Louder. Thank you very much. You have made it through the lectures, the practicals, the assessments, the long nights, and in some cases, personal struggles that only you truly understand. You have done it all while preparing to join the healthcare sector that is constantly evolving. And I think that really has been overemphasized in the previous speeches. The healthcare sector is full of challenges, but as well, it is full of opportunities. It has not been easy for sure, but you stayed the course. You showed up. Today, you are ready to serve. Explains why you're all here, dressed and gowned. You're ready to serve, you're ready to keep learning on the front lines, and most importantly, you're ready to bring fresh ideas into the field that needs you more than ever. Can I get this? Thank you very much. So please, before we go any further, let's pause for a moment and take it all in, and truly take it all in. Because you really have earned this. And I think you need to have a sense of pride. It has been said that there are folks who would wish to have had the opportunity to graduate but did not. Some of them, could be a variety of reasons. Sometimes, some of them for reasons that are certainly beyond their spheres of influence. When I first saw the theme of the graduation, which is innovative medicine, I did pause for a moment. I did really take time to think through it and what innovation could potentially mean. It's definitely a phrase that we hear often these days, but of course for me, it took me back to when memories of a different kind. I don't know if it was mentioned. My background is in public health. My foundation degree is in public health. And I possibly are amongst those who are very lucky, and I would say very lucky indeed, back in 2002, to have been employed directly by government straight from campus. It never happens these days anymore. So off of public health school, I got posted in Wajir as a district public health officer. Today, there are no districts anymore, so that would be the equivalent of a county public health officer. Wajir, being Wajir, I don't know if there's anyone who's been to the north, and unfortunately a lot of Kenyans hardly go up that way unless you're in the maintenance sector or you come from there. At the time, and this was long before county governments, there was absolutely no infrastructure, any kind of infrastructure, whether it is the roads, it's the schools, it's the hospitals, WASOF. anything, right? Electricity, there was absolutely hardly any infrastructure up that way in 2002. The county governments have since occasioned quite a lot of change. But at the time, as I served, it's very much a humanitarian setting. There were no proper roads, like I have mentioned. Of course, if you have a facility, there are no labs. There's no network. I mean, even cell phone coverage, you know, at the time one would have imagined was totally non-existent at the time. Yet, even with those conditions, we showed up. We worked with what we had. We had community health kits. We had handwritten records because there were obviously no computers at the time, and lots of grit. Sometimes our clinic was nothing more than a table under a tree and trust building with local communities. That experience taught me something important, that innovation in healthcare does not always look like machines or mobile phone applications. Sometimes it looks like courage. Sometimes it looks like doing your best with very little. Sometimes it's the selflessness. And sometimes it's a raw sense of doing good because a child's life depends on it. Years later, and this is on to another story. So years later, now around 2011, I had since left working for government, moved on to full-scale humanitarian work. During the Horn of Africa hunger crisis, not so many of us can remember, I'm sure, but in 2010, 2011, if those who are old enough, especially those behind me, can remember Kenyans for Kenya. There was hunger like there has never been in this country since 1985. So there was a massive influx of populations from Somalia coming into Kenya. At the time, I worked for a humanitarian organization in Dadaab, and we had a responsibility to definitely work in the front line, set up triage so that then you're able to rescue as many emaciated children as possible, as many hungry mothers as possible. And that was the role that we had. So at some point we got overwhelmed. So anyone familiar with that area, you have Dadaab, which is the refugee camp. Then it is around that time that you had E41, E42, many other satellite refugee camps were coming up, and purely because of the populations that was streaming in. So one of those days, we decided, listen, the numbers are becoming overwhelming, and the best thing, therefore, we must do is to drive over 150 kilometers to Liboi, right at the border between Somalia. Right? So we set off with a couple of colleagues. And obviously, this was an environment of lots and lots of insecurity. So a security car, a police car right ahead, a police car right behind, humanitarian cars in the middle. So as we were driving, I was fortunate enough to be the team lead. So as we were driving, somewhere under a tree, and there are all this, it's a desert basically, and so you have one tree, then you have very minimal vegetation. So under one of those trees, I see a child fiddling, but the mother is actually lying down, right? So we had passed a couple of kilometers, but something deeply in me told me, listen, you might just need to stop and go check out on that child. Maybe they need immediate rescue. So I asked the guys, I asked my colleagues to turn back. So when we went back, it's unfortunate that we did find that the mother to the child was dead, but the child was still fiddling with the breasts, right? And that's a story that has never left my heart, has never left my mind to date. It's something that really has been a constant reminder of how important the work we do can actually be, right? So if you look at it in that sense, and sometimes I still get almost 20 years later, I still get emotional telling that story. So that image, while it has stayed in me, it changed something in me as well. In that moment, I was simply a human being, face to face with the reality of what happens when systems fall short and how much it matters to show up even when it is most difficult. Fast forward to today. I work in the social policy and global health sector, advising governments and large agencies like the World Bank in contributing to better health policies and helping shape systems that reach the most vulnerable. But everything I do now was shaped by those early years in the field. These two stories I have told. My early years of working in an environment where there are absolutely no facilities in Wajir, and the refugee response story. It is, at the end of the day, it is about people. And that, graduates, is where the journey begins for you. You may not be deployed to border camps or conflict zones, but you will for sure face moments where you must choose to show up. Even when the situation is far from ideal, you must choose service over comfort. You may not always have ideal conditions, but you will always have your training. You will always have your judgment. You will always have your heart. You will always have your empathy. And most importantly, you will always have your authentic self. When I speak about innovative medicine, I'm not just talking about robotics or artificial intelligence. I am talking about human innovation, the kind that meets people where they are, the kind that listens, the kind that improvises when the lab reagents are not there, the kind that improvises when the power is down or when a patient cannot afford a referral. And that kind of innovation does not come from machines. No, it doesn't. It comes from you. It is expected that it will come from you. You are the innovators. You are the ones who will find ways to serve patients with dignity in a system that is still healing. You are the ones who will bring warmth into cold corridors, empathy into strained systems, and fresh thinking into the everyday challenges of care. You are the ones who will look at a struggling patient, not just as a case file, and this had been mentioned before, but as a child, as a parent, as a neighbor, or as a person with hopes and fears just like yours. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to care deeply, deeply and consistently. I have seen that kind of care in community health workers who have to work long hours in the sun to ensure a child gets their next dose of medicine. And I'm sure this is a story that many Kenyans are very familiar with. I have seen it in nurses and nurse aides who stay past their shift to comfort a mother. I have seen it in lab technicians who improvise like when resources run low, not for recognition, but because they know someone is counting on them. And now I see that very potential in you. You are stepping into a world that is complex and changing fast. Climate change is shifting disease patterns, something that has not been mentioned, climate change. I get to mention something new. Urbanization is stretching health services. Inequality is still keeping too many people from accessing healthcare. But this is also a world full of opportunities. A world that is hungry for professionals who lead with skill and serve with their heart. Some of you will go on to becoming clinical officers, nurses finally, lab techs, researchers, public health officers like myself, or even policymakers. Yeah, you could become politicians if you want, but while you're there, you need to have all this in mind. Whatever role you take, remember this. You are not just joining a workforce, you are joining a mission a mission to restore, to protect, and to serve. So how do you thrive in this path? Let me leave you with a few things that you possibly I have learned along the way, and which I'm happy to share with you. Number one is you have to stay grounded, right? You have to stay grounded in service. Titles may change, salaries may vary, but your commitment to humanity must always be constant, because that is your anchor. That is who you are. You know, sometimes when you watch some of these lectures, and when you find time, please do while you're idling on YouTube, when you're not watching anything silly. And trust me, there's a lot of silly things on YouTube. Please take time to watch some of these lectures from most of these institutions that bother to record them. Stanford, Harvard, all of these, Howard, Morehouse, a lot of those universities, they record their lectures and they're available for public consumption. In one of those lectures, I think it was a lecture on cognitive psychology, a student asked the lecturer, just right at the beginning of the lecture, of course the conversation was about life and death and the meaning of both. The student asked, so, sir, why should I be alive? And I don't know if you've ever asked yourself that question. Fine, you are brought into this world, but why should you stay alive? Right? I need you to take a moment to reflect on that. Right? And whether you see value in staying alive, and whether you have a sense of purpose in staying alive, right? And whether you have identified exactly what that value is and what that purpose is. So, of course, the lecturer in response gave a very incomplete response. But the response was that we have a responsibility as humans, and I think somebody mentioned it here, that we have a responsibility as humans to perpetuate life in the manner it was handed over to us, to pass down life, to pass on life in the way it was passed over to us. We have that intrinsic responsibility to be human, right? Then the second thing is we have a purpose, and each one of us has a different purpose. What would that possibly look like for you? Right? And when you find that, then staying grounded then becomes very easy, because you have a very strong sense of direction. The second thing, so the first one is stay grounded. The second thing is stay curious. This field is always evolving. Ask questions, read, observe, innovate, and be the one who notices that others what others overlook. Steve Jobs says, stay foolish, stay hungry, right? So stay foolish, stay hungry technically means you need to be able to be open to learn more, but at the same time you need to want more, right? So that is very, very critical. Then finally, there were three, remember? Stay grounded, stay curious, and finally stay kind. Be kind to your patients. Be kind to your colleagues and to yourself, right? Take some time to reward yourself. It's okay, folks. This work can be heavy. Some days it will feel like too much, but your kindness, your humanity, your ability to see people and not just problems will be your greatest strength. To the lecturers, the faculty, thank you for investing in these leaders. To the families, thank you so much for the sacrifices, the encouragement, the belief that you have invested in these graduates, and clearly they have not let you down. To you, the graduating class, please just remember to show up. There will be moments when you feel very unsure. There will be times when the system feels overwhelming. But remember that your presence matters. Remember that your voice matters. And remember that your actions matter. The world needs health professionals who are compassionate. The world needs health professionals who are thoughtful and who are willing to keep learning and leading with heart. So go out there, write your own story, go make impact, and go save lives. Be the medicine the world so desperately needs, and be the change that you have always called for. Congratulations, the class of 2025. The world cannot wait to see what you will do next. The future of healthcare is certainly brighter because we have you now. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless Kenya.
Wow. Excellent, thank you. A big round of applause, please, once again, for our chief guest, Asante Sana. Asante Sana, thank you so much, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. 15 minutes to the top of the hour. Asanteni Sana, and we are ready. The parents, wazazi mpo. Sasa ndo wakati umewadia. Ukisikia jina la yule ambaye unamtambua, mpigieni makofi tafadhali, kwa sababu wakati umefika na atakayetuelekeza. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. On standby. I'd kindly request right now to guide us through the awarding of certificates. Please put your hands together for the academic registrar, MMTC, Bwana Beltons Oko. Karibu tafadhali, guide us through this moment that we've been waiting for. Asante sana, karibu sana.
All protocols observed. I would like to welcome you once again to our graduation. I was a bit late because we have a national exam that is going on, and we finished a bit late. Our chief guest, I would like to promise you that the next time we'll be coming here for our next graduation, we will not be having a single course. We'll be having perioperative theater technologies graduating with us, and also health service support also graduating with us. Your faces are not happy. Whose funeral is this? Idi matanga ya nani? Though I can barely recognize you, makeup, umefanya kazi. Even the ones I know, but it's your day. I'm going to read the names of the graduates per intake, starting with the Nairobi campus. Nairobi, September 2024. You will rise as they mention your name, and the rest will clap. Make sure you clap. I still have your certificates and your transcripts, so clap. Number 1, Alan Kipkoech Meli, Belinda Kathomi Murangiri, Beverly Alivitsa Ajega, you remain standing. Caroline Kinanga, Charlie Tafrande Thiongo, Chetalam Irene Chebiwot, Cynthia Chepngetich Langat, Diana Kanuna Ndichu, Erosi Karambu, Fatma Abdi Nur Abdi, Gerald Kuhiguka Gitome, Gidhui Vivian Mumbi, Jane Wambui Dhuo, Kakonzi Doris, Kayuyu Florence Mukaria, Kimani Lilian Jerry, Kiwia Lois Siovili, Luzili Stacy Opala, Marine Talek, Modi Pauline Ngina, Mutua Benjamin Wambui, Mvungi Rosalina L. Ondilia, Mwangi Bryson Garihu, Mwangi Faith Wangeshi, Mwaura Jane Wambui, Ngatia Rita Mutanu, Nyamweya Linda Kwamboka, Ochieng Achieng Masi, Ochieng Peter Odhiambo, Odhiambo Messi Akinyi, Okambo Beryl Scovia, Okumu Audrey Nganyi, Olum Lucy Brenda, Owen Leon Alando, Rankua Econet Cynthia, Rita Gakenya Gitonga, Sabine Achieng Wendy, Salim Terry Amanda, Samuel Kimanzi Mwendwa, Sarina Adea, Sasin Dalton Soine, Tevin Ochieng, Zena Abu Mustafa, Kevin Okwanda Kitheka, Boniface Elimlim Ekeno. You may proceed to sit. Congratulations. Mombasa, September 2024. Ali Yusra Wangui, Benson Mudarimi Daniel, Chemutai Kala, Erica Nyawira Ndugu, Erica CD Edwin, James Purity Mla, Jane Sally Otwane, Juma Rehema Zuena. You are not clapping. Yes. Kombe Jumwa Lucy, Leonora Manga Mwaluga, Makau Josephine Mudeu, Mariola Chepkemboi, Emmanuel Opondo Oduor, Kipngeno Felix Kibet, Koech Sharon Chepchumba, Kimari Mary Wambui, Matara Mora Glorious, Mohamed Haji Said Omar, Mwaniki Gloria Njeri, Ogonji Dorcas Juma, Precious Bosibori, Priska Grace Wambui Kamande. Nice. You can proceed to sit. The rest should be clapping and smiling. I'm the only one who's not allowed to smile, because where I'm coming from, we don't have friendly faces to smile. So it's our right not to smile. Nairobi Campus, November 2024. I can see some of them around here. Anyanzwa T. Joyce, Beverly Faith Nahungu, Deborah Chelangat, Diana Akinyi Onyango, Elizabeth Amolo, Faith Nduva, Gikura Harriet Wanjiru, Hadasa Wangari, Helen Munyao, Het Patel. I'm sorry, your second name is difficult, yeah. Judith Elsa Alando Okoth, Kamau Nancy Wambui, Kurgat Kelin Chemutai, Lorraine Odero, Lorraine Kimathi Irene Wambui, Maina Charity Wanjiru, Melody Miran Randa Odhiambo, Millicent Chepkemoi, Michelle Cheryl Awor, Mwangi Lilroy Kamau, Omondi Donald Asha, Sisiona Ruth Maiba. Clap for them as they proceed to sit. Eldoret Campus, November, Betty Jepkosgei, Prudence Jepleting, Chemtai Cynthia Muyoka, Isabwa Metrin Anota, Jebichi Kezia, Limo Hiral Chemtai, Ruto Masi Jepkorir, Wanjala Jael Nasimiyu, Diego Marion Jepkosgei. Clap for them as they proceed to sit. Mombasa Campus, November, Margaret Mukali, Musindalo Narotso Efa, Riziki Kadzo Rua, Shiava Victoria Imesi, Stoa Muawia Makael, Triza Chantel Oduor. Clap for them as they proceed to sit. Nakuru Campus, November 2024, Charlene Casting Kendi, Kiriso Susan Chepkoril, Onchari Okemwa Jacob, Onwongwa Lydia Kwamboka, Rista Salama Matolo. Nairobi Campus, January 2025. These are my friends, yeah? Abigail Hassandi, Aginga Akumu Priscilla, Akondo Ivan Muhonja, Atieno Nancy Odera, Otieno Stacy Dacha, Boniface Mwangi Githuku, Chepkoi K. Alex, Cynthia Mora Omoyo, Dacha Melanie Anyango, Daniel Njenga, Nembeko Genevieve, Elizabeth Awor Okoth, Elizabeth Gadoni, Emily Nyaboke Bisonga, Eunice Masi Mumo, Faith Imali, Gadwa Caroline Wanjiru, Gaduru Joan Wairimu, Gitai Grace Wangui, Har Chandresh Kumar Patel, sorry, Irungu Grace Nyambura, James Alpha Mburu, Joyce Waitera Njeri, Kennedy Maza Mwalungwa, Kennedy Palma Nekesa, Kiboma Emmanuel Kinara, Kieru Phyllis Njeri, Kinoti Joy Gatwiri, Kinywa Cynthia Murugi, Chalo Bibian Hasendi, Levin Mandanyi Josek, Luis Mwende Mbadhi, Mabiria Kemunto Hailin, Makoa Masi Adhiambo, Mariam Juma, Masese Esther Basweti, Mbugwa Rachel Wanjiku, Melissa Whitney Muniko, Mido Sophie Rachel Undisa, Miriam Wambui wa Maidha, Mohamed Asha Karimi, Mokua Shali Mongina, Munene Abigail Hadiori, Murunga Yvonne Cherop, Mudhama Moli Mudheu, Mudhoni Masi, Mutuli Faith Mweni, Muturi Vivian Gasheri, Naomi Wambui Ngigi, Ndiema Abigail Jepkoech, Nduati Annette Wanjiru, Ngigi Eunice Njoki, Oiye Mary Seyani. That name. Okumu Valerie Pamela, Otit Brenda Faith, Patience Kanyiri, Sayanka Joy Namunyak, Stella Beatrice Wambui, Tracy Makena Mwirigi, Vikin Robi Kibai, Vivian Musambi, Washira Ruth Wambui, Wanjiku Eunice Njeri, Yeke Irene Akinyi, Muhura Masi Wanjiku, Kamau Felicity Nyambura. They're quite a number. Give them a huge applause as they sit. Thank you. Mombasa campus, January 2025. People from Coast, I know you are a bit slow, but you'll be fast in standing, yeah? Ademba Yvonne Awor, Ajulu Achieng Judith, Ali Sumaya, Angel Wayego Senga, Ayugu Marion Nelima, Bahati Kasim Mwinyi, Bake Abdillahi Khalid, Chengo Abigail Nduta, Flavian Akinyi Nelson, Hamin Onali Jivanji, Halima Hussein Abdillahi, Helen Waithera Kamau, Hope Atieno Ojango, Jessica Sabina Steven, Julius Brighton Amukaya, Kahugia Joyce Wangeshi, Karanu Francis Wamai, Kudoi Favor Ross, Levi Constant Sereo, Machio Kigenda Patience, Mary Kadi Chagawa, Melvin Mwikali, Melvin Sibia Siboga, Mnyazi Elizabeth Ronald, Mohamed Musa, Murugi Mudhuni Margaret, Odede Lynette Odhiambo Fayo Ruth, Otieno Atieno Violet, Otieno Catherine Deborah, Ounza Olesi Dora, Peter Salma Cherotich, Salma Alwi Ahmed, Wabonga Angelina Musangi. Clap for them as they proceed to sit. They have won 2 gowns, buibui na gown ya kawaida. Nakuru campus, January 25. Chepkorir Diana, Jebiwot Sierra Koech, Jeb Koech Stacy, Kabiru Lawrence Mwangi, Ken Lionel Brenda, Kiarie Sharon Mudhoni, Mary Nduta Maragwa, Mihari N. Rachel, Millicent Jeb Ngetich, Mwangi Eunice Wanjira, Namuni Edna Jeb Tepkeny, Jep Tepkeny, Namuni Joylin Jepkoech, Njogu Rose Muchuku, Sagana Sarafina Nyambeki, Duo Tabitha Wanjiru, Triza Chepkoech, Veronica Muihaki, Washira Tishiana Wangui, Waweru Jane Wanja, Winnie Chebet. Eldoret Campus, January 2025. Another group of friends of mine, yeah? Number 1, Abigail Jeruto, Asango Lea Luta, Belvin Chepchirchir, Benadine Jepkoech, Cherobon Hadassa, Cynthia Jepngetich, Damaris Masicha Wanyama, Faith Jepchirchir, Faith Jepkoech, Jael Jepkemboi. I'd like to pause at Jael Jepkemboi. Mr. Director, Jael, I'd like to bring to your attention that Jael started this course with 700 shillings in January, and now she's done in 6 months. Gemeli Faith, Jepkoech Caroline Kemboi, Jepkoech Judy, Joylin Jeptanui, Keino Jepkurgat Cynthia, Kiare Waithera Ruth, Kimutai Jepkoech Bridget, Kipkoech Sila. I would applause for Sila, the only man in that class. Kogei Daisy Jepto, Mabonga Derek Wafula, Mbugwa Charity Mudhoni, Melvin Jepkorir, Mercy Jerop, Mildred Chepchirchir Mondet, Ngugi Wanjugu Sonia, Phyllis Chemutai, Rebecca Libendi Nicole, Ruth Jepto Yego, Ruth Jerotich, Ruth Ndenya, Sarah Gishiku Njogu, Saguton Jepto Fancy, Wanyonyi Lucy Nasambu, Winnie Jepkirui, Vivian Mumbi Gidhui. So if you are here and you've not heard your name, meaning you are not part of the graduation today. I request all the graduates to rise. What?
You came from here, you skipped somewhere from here, and you came here.
So it was skipped?
You skipped it. You skipped somewhere.
Mombasa.
Yes, Jen.
Sorry about that. Mombasa, September 2024. Ali Yusra Wangui. Clap for them now. Clap loudly for them. Benson Mudarimi Daniel. Chemutai Kala. Erika Nyawira Ndugu. Erika Sidi Edwin. James Purity Mla. Jen Sally Otwane, Juma Rehema, Kombe Lucy, Leonora Manga Mwaluga, Makao Josephine Mudeu, Mariola Chepkemboi, Mba Muteti Jeremy, Migi Cameroon, Musa Bakari Naima, Machofi Dorcas, Naila Watiri Faisal, Sari Rachel Sabina, Sharon Vuyanzi Elias, Singira Rebecca Akinyi, Washira Nora Njeri. Yes. Oh. It's over. Eldoret. Eldoret Campus, September 2024. Adati Asha Alawia. Aduma Faith Nekesa. Chelsea Chelimo. Chemutai Sherry. Faith Wanjiku. Gasambi Nicole Saum. Jepchumba Cheryl. Jepleting Diana. Jepleting Mercy. Cherotich Sylvia. Juliet Chepchurchi Soy. Kemboi Chebet Sharon. Kibet Eric To. Kimutai Purity Jerop. Kiprop Kevin. Munguri Faith Wanjira. Namilembe Fortune Fatuma Adati. Njoroge Jane Mumbi. Zakaria Omede. Sharon Jepchirchir. Sylvia Mnyasa. Valerie Luvena. You can proceed to sit. That's it. Yeah. Nakuru. Aya. Betty Victoria Wanjeri. Coletta, where are they? Coletta Jane Wambui. Cynthia Wanjiru Wangunyi. Elizabeth Mora Ongeri. Emmanuel Opondo. Kipngeno Felix Bet. Koech Sharon Jepchumba. Kimari Mary Wambui. Matara Mora Glorious. Mohamed Aji Said Omar. Mwaniki Gloria Njeri. Ogonji Dorcas Juma. Precious Bosibori. Priska Grace Wambui. Kamande. I've mentioned Nakuru Campus, September 2024. Only 5 stood. All graduates to rise. As you proceed to the outside world, I'd like to give you my blessings on the academic register. You didn't give us a difficult time. It was a journey of persistence from the tutors and the administrators through to the students. And the fruits of your hard work is what we are witnessing today in your gowns. You're beautiful, by the way. But I'd like to mention one thing. You are into health sector. And the last time we were in the graduation, there's a speaker who said there's a lot of work. Even if there's no employment, there's a lot of work. There's a lot you can do as a health professional in the hospitals, in the care homes. I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of Macmillan. And as you go out, be a blessing to others. Thank you.
Wow. Makofi to the graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, well done, well done.
You can sit down. You can resume your seats. I've been given another task. I want to award the best performers. I'm not saying you did perform best, but even out of the number ones, there is one outstanding number one. Eh? Yeah, so the award will be both academic and leadership. Now, leadership means a lot. Your dressing, how you conduct yourselves. These are things that we looked at both in school and at your place of attachment. Are we together? So don't, when you leave here without a present, don't feel bad. It's normal to feel bad, but it is also normal to not to be number one every time. It's very normal. So, I've said you are the best, you are good, and this is the fruit of your labor. Student award, when I call your name, you run. You literally run. Here. Leadership award, September cohort. All through. Nairobi, Zena Abu Mustafa. kwanza wakuja.
First call the professor who's awarding them, then they come. So that is the
Meet the professor kama unache na waite kwanza wasimame, then meet the professor. Sawa. Just stand here. From Mombasa, Jane Sally Otwane. From Eldoret, we have Sherry Jemutai. From Nakuru, we have Emmanuel Opondo. Academic Award, September cohort still. Bryson Garihu from Nairobi. Jeremy Muteti from Mombasa. Kelvin Kiprop from Eldoret. Coletta Njenga from Nakuru. I'd like to call upon Dr. Jacob Magero and Dr. Tadayo Kibaba to help us award our students. Clap for them. Your work is to clap. Clapping, even the parents will clap today. Clap. Let the clapping continue. So I need our chief guest hapa akuje tu. Tu wameandika hivi and then huyu ndio anamwamua kwanza. Nice, thanks. For our next slot, I'd like to call Dr. Godfrey Mungai. I'd like to call upon Dr. Godfrey Mungai to help us award them. Leadership Award, November cohort, Ellen Munyao from Nairobi. Helen Munyao from Nairobi. Hope Atieno from Mombasa. Be fast a bit. Ruto Masi from Eldoret. Ruto Masi from Eldoret. Rista Matolo from Nakuru. For our next group of students to be awarded academic award, I would like to call upon Dr. Samuel Mwangi. Dr. Samuel Mwangi. From Nairobi, I'll call Kelin Chemutai. Kelin Chemutai. Followed by Melvin Mwikali from Mombasa. Ni wivu ya nini? Just clap. Wanjala Jael Nasimiyu from Eldoret. Wanjala Jael Nasimiyu from Eldoret. Jacob Okemwa from Nakuru. For our next group, I'd like to call upon Miss Evelyn Oliech. Evelyn Oliech. From Nairobi. I'll call upon our guest, Honorable Odanga Pesa, to help us award them. Rachel Mbugwa from Nairobi. Bahati Kasim from Mombasa. Bridget Kimutai from Eldoret. Jane Wanja from Nakuru. Bridget Kimutai is the CU chair lady for Eldoret campus. Emily Nyaboke, Nairobi. Brighton Amukaya, Mombasa. Mildred Mondet, Eldoret. And finally, Rachel Mihari from Nakuru. Thank you, sir. After that. Thank you very much. I would like to move a notch higher. We have our tutors and we have staff who's been assisting us all through the campuses. We want to award the outstanding staff. I'm sorry, Meno Award. Number one, the most outstanding tutor is none other than Miss Viona Osiako. Please come forth, Miss Viona. You probably don't know her because you are not doing ICT. So, number two, the second staff, you can take a guess. Okay. None other than Mr. Zablon Otongo from Mombasa. All the way from Nyaribari Church, Kitutu Masaba. The third staff, the third outstanding staff, you can guess? Now this one, if you make a lot of noise, he will get scared and go back home. So just calm down. Number 3 is Ivan Amin. He's a bit young and shy. He's a bit young and shy. But you see, order. But you see those gowns and the scrubs that you wear goes through him. Even those who are in other campuses, you might not know, but he's the one who sorts them out. I would like to call upon our director, Mr. Josephat Ochieng, to award them. Due to public demand, we have decided to call Lamek just to greet the director. Yes, order. A point to note. Lamek is married with 3 kids. Our next staff to be awarded is our center manager from Mombasa, Saida Asinati. She will be followed by Winnie from Nakuru. Our next staff, actually not our next staff, our next guest to be awarded today is none other than Mr. Josephat Ochieng, who will be awarded by our chief guest, Dr. Omondi Oyoi. The next person that we are going to award is someone who's been instrumental throughout this graduation. He's given us words of encouragement I know he's encouraged somebody today. I feel touched to have him as our chief guest today. Dr. Omondi Oi will be awarded by our director, Josephat Ochieng. A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause. Yes. You can leave. Having done with the awards, you are today here as CNAs. A speaker mentioned that it is not the end of studies, it is not the end of school, but it is the beginning. As you go out to explore, you'll realize that you've not studied so much. I'm glad that some of you already came back to explore some other courses. As you go out there, please try and explore other courses, advance in your course, be the best, both academically and professionally. Learning never ends. You've just started, and this might be the beginning of greater things. I hope this is the beginning of greater things to come. Thank you so much.
Wow. Many thanks, many thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, time to cut the cake. Madam Mercy Omondi, take over, over to you. Wow, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Class of 2025, Macmillan Medical Training College. The cake is ready. All right, let's have it. Ready to go.
To the protocol observed and to all our guests, and to our beautiful and handsome students, good afternoon. I take this opportunity today to congratulate you for the miles you've come, the far you've come. You've had a strong belief that you can make it. And today, here you are. So I just want to encourage all of us. You've made it out of the wounds that was smelling like a rat, put in expired cheese. You've made it. Out of all the dead bodies you handled, you've come out strong. Go out, make a difference, and become somebody better. So today, as we want to cut this cake, it symbolizes the sweetness of the journey you are about to encounter. When you are only open, when you have an only open mind, that is when you'll encounter the sweetness of being a CNA, and most importantly, a CNA from the Macmillan Medical Training College. Like director said, I am Macmillan. Wherever you will step, wherever you will go, always remember Macmillan. I want to wish you all the best. So I would love to call our director and our chief guest, Dr. Jacob and Dr. Omondi, and to our principal also, as we grace this occasion for our class of 2025. We need two representatives. We need representatives from each campus. Representatives from each campus. Yes. I need a gentleman. Mrs. Director, come, please. Yes. right. Just squeeze yourself, please. Okay, that's fine. All right. So as we want to cut this cake, as it being cut, you're being sent out to give the best you can. Have a heart that is compassionate and empathy, as I always say, every now and then. That is what will take you far. So, director and our guests, please, and our students, you'll just around, and then we cut the cake. As a DJ, you'll also give us a song, please, as we want to cut the cake now. The ones who can reach, okay. Can we have one